Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, January the 22nd, and it's a beautiful day to be alive. It's just feeling excitement and vibrance just by being in you guys' environment, having seen your faces in what seems like forever. So just the ability for us to connect, even if it's via technology, just warms my soul. So happy new year to you. If we haven't seen each other in 2026, like my brother Josh hadn't seen him in some time, happy new year to each one of you. I hope that you are starting your year as we're in the 22nd day with intention, right? So we're going to get straight to it because we've got a lot to cover today in 54 minutes to be exact. I'm going to take us out on the field. And when I do take us out on the field, what I like to do is sow a thought-provoking seed. And if it resonates with you, has an impression on you, we'd love to hear your contribution. So I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second just to get my situation situated. And we will, be going. Move this out the way. Let's go. Boom. Ready to rumble. Your future is not waiting for you. It's waiting on what you do next. I'll say that again. Your future is not waiting for you. It's waiting on what you do next. I'll start. To me, what that means is your future is not a place that our future will make it collective, community. Our future is not a place that we randomly arrive at. Our future is a product of our decisions and our discipline and our obedience today. We are literally living in the future of the decisions and the discipline and the obedience of last year or the lack thereof. In order for us to get to where we're going, which is ahead of us, our future, is going to be a product of the decisions that we make, the discipline that we instill, and the obedience self today. When I read that, it absolutely blew me away. I'd be interested and really triggered me to look at the actions of today, how they create the future that I want. Anyone feel free to take yourself off of mute if that seed resonated with you, if it had some impression upon you, and how that applies to where you're going and what's ahead of you. We'd love to hear your contribution. Just feel free to take yourself off of mute. You don't have to raise your hand. This is a open forum, collective space, but we'd love to hear some contributions, if any.
Do it for your future self.
H-bomb, say that. Can you say it again?
Do it for your future self. Do it now for your future self.
Do it
Every time
now.
I don't want to do something, like get up at 5:15 and go work out at 6 or cold call or whatever, it's like, do it for your future self. Just do it.
That is absolutely powerful because the only person that has control over you and your future is you. H-bomb doesn't get up at 5:15 to get in the gym by 6 o'clock. She's not going to feel at her highest capacity. She's not going to feel a certain way because of the decisions that she made. But when she does, it creates a completely different feeling and a completely different future. Thank you for that contribution, Heather. Anyone else? Did that have an impression on anyone else? Your future's not waiting for you. It's waiting on what you do next.
I said, yeah, schedule it. Put it in the calendar. Sorry about that.
You don't have to apologize. I can say it. Would you mind repeating that?
I said, schedule it. Put it in the calendar because if it's in there, you'll get it done. That last year for me, that was like a big, I guess, help for my success for of all the things I did last year was just setting a plan and instead of writing just things down, write things down. We have goals, but if we actually put a date on it and it's there in our face and a reminder, I think we get done.
And Mama San, you had an explosive year last year, all over social media in various ways, sitcom, lightweight TV shows, just expanding your creativity. But
This year, wait till this year, man.
I'm excited. I'm excited because this is exactly what this seed is supposed to trigger. Your future your now is a reproduct of the discipline last year of you keeping the calendar, of you calendaring things with intentionality. That was a discipline. That was a muscle that you worked. And look what it created, right? In terms of today being the future of the decisions that you made last year. Proud of you. Proud of you, girl. Thank you for that contribution. Someone else took themselves off of mute, and then I saw you put yourself back on mute. But we do have space for one last. Evelyn, that's who it was.
For me, what resonated was like the obedience part that you mentioned, be obedient now, because I tend to I'm the type that like thinks big, in a month, in a year. I think about all my goals, all that stuff, right? And I could easily get overwhelmed to the point where then I overwhelm myself and I shut down, right? So for me, that has been huge. I have been implementing that of like, you know what? Who cares what's going to happen in a month, in a year, whatever? Focus on what you could do today to have a super productive day on your business, on yourself, on all those things. So I try focusing on giving my 110% today, not what's going to happen next week, a month from now, and stuff like that.
Thank you for that. Planning long term is wisdom, but we only have a moment. And scientifically, a moment is a fraction of a second, actually 0.25, 2/5 of a second. So right now, that's all we have right now. And if we implement discipline and obedience to what? You need to cold call right now. Heather's point, wake up at 5:15. Okay, let me get up no matter how I feel, no matter what the weather's like outside. It's that consistent muscle that in the moment that really creates that momentum that produces the results that we're looking for. I love that. If I could summate all of those contributions using Bay Area slang, because we are from the Yay, it would sound a little something like this. We got to make our next move our best move. Whatever that is, the next move needs to be our best move to produce our future self. Oh, thank you, Glenn. I appreciate it. So this is Glenn's comment in the chat. The excuses I make today will become regret tomorrow. Oh, that's Glenn, you just can't type that in the chat. You just can't type that in the chat, brother, without taking yourself off of mute and expounding on that, because that is powerful.
Yeah, I've realized, especially in the last probably 16 months, that it's so easy for me to make an excuse today, but it comes and bites me in the ass tomorrow, and then I regret making that excuse, right? There is no one else to blame but me in those cases. And, I'm in this business so that I can have liberty, and I'm super excited to print these checks today. It's $2,000 that I get to donate because of the success of my business, and so, right, I'm here to celebrate this kind of liberty that I can afford to do that, and I'm so thankful for that.
That is fire, right? Being able to be a blessing to someone else as a result of your discipline, like blessing someone else. So Glenn, you're not only benefiting from making the decision today, but you're impacting someone else's life. That's what human existence is all about. And I know this is a conversion clinic, and we're going to talk conversion equations, and we're going to get back to the basics. But Glenn, I salute you on a human level, my man. Continue to do what you can do, what you're doing. Your future is even brighter, and you're going to change more lives as a result of it. So salute to you and everyone else who is making a decision today that's going to be the determining factor on your future. Let's get back to it. Get back to sharing my screen real quick. Dan, my brother, get ready, because we are rolling straight forward. Take this number in. 150 million. As a team, that's what's ahead of us. As it relates to this, the thought-provoking seed from this morning, this future, we won't randomly arrive at 150 million in sales volume a year, ladies and gentlemen. It's a product of the decisions that we make, the discipline that we instill, and the obedience to move today. Take that in. That's where we're going. That's what's ahead of us. Let's talk winning. If you are new to the call, there is power in being on the Zillow team, opportunity in being on the Zillow team, record-setting transactions being on the Zillow team. And I cannot go any further on the 22nd day of the month, of the first month of the year, without highlighting one day of transactions in Zillow that got into contract. I should have put the number on the slide so that everyone, I'm visual, but I won't, because some of the, one or two of the agents, or I see one specifically on the call who just got into contract. Hear me, ladies and gentlemen, on a Zillow lead, okay, for 9.7 million. I'm just going to shut my mouth and sit back down. I'm going to kick back. I'm going to let that marinate. I'm going to let that marinate for a moment.
Damn.
I'm going to let that marinate for a moment. For a moment. Okay? $9.7 million. All cash. That's one transaction. 2.4. Dan, is that the number? 2.4. So 9.7 plus 2.4 is $12.1 million in sales volume. The 2.4 is Sierra in one day. Ronnie, as soon as you close escrow, I need a referral fee. Take yourself off of mute. Give us some encouragement. Because not only is that Zillow preferred team record, that's a team fast record that came from a Zillow lead. So Ronnie, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Give us the story, brother.
So I met these clients, I would say May 5th, I think, of last year. And, you know, it's always nerve-wracking when you meet CEOs. I've met a few CEOs before with Zillow, but it just never panned out. Obviously, it's like I don't know how to deal with them. Obviously, you try to implement your training and how you work with your other clients, because I basically treat everyone exactly the same. But this time, we toured one property. I asked them what they're looking for, and they mentioned that their daughter is going to San Francisco University High School, which a lot of people don't know anything about this high school. It's in Presidio Heights in San Francisco. And I guess all the CEO kids are going there. So I even asked my friends that are local, I was like, do you guys know this high school? They're like, no. So anywho, months later, just haven't heard back from them. I know I'm trying to focus because I've manifested before. I was like, I want to do a $10 million client. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. Could be 10 years from now, whatever. And then she just reached out to me a few months later. And from then, I think I started to get to know them more. And at some point, you know, I thought they're just going to ditch me, look for like a Compass agent or a Sotheby's agent. But I just basically focused and then try to basically look at the properties they're looking for. But mind you, I only have a 4-block radius to look at. And the inventory in that neighborhood is super low. And their daughter only is allowed to walk 10 to 15 minutes away from school. So that's that's such a requirement. So I think on and off would be looking, and I'm grateful for them because they keep tabs with me. And then eventually I found this one property in December. And then she was like, I think we're getting close. Checks all the boxes, but obviously no home is perfect.
Right.
The home is beautiful. I think we've toured it at this point 7 times.
Wow.
But last December, what do you call this? I thought the deal basically died. We submitted super low ball because the listing agents listed it at 11.5.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was a little high because there's no yard, but there's beautiful view of the Bay Bridge. Golden Gate Bridge, no yard, one parking. But it's a perfect house. And then my client's like, I'm pissed off with the seller. I don't even want to submit any offer. So I just checked in with them after New Year's. And then we toured it again. And then even my clients was like, told the listing agent, you need to be grateful with Ronnie because we do not even want to submit an offer in this house.
Wow.
And then I got them to go up by 1.4 million more. So basically this is what happened. We submitted a 9, rejected. Obviously, because it was like $2.5 million off. And then we just strategically thought about, okay, how are we gonna do this? So basically, what my sellers are doing, paying $9.7 million because in San Francisco, if you pay over $10 million, your transfer tax doubles.
Mm.
And my sellers are basically paying. What we agreed on is like, let's try for you to pay 9.7. You pay for the transfer tax and you pay for the agent fees.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, all in all, they're around 10.5. But
Right.
mind you, what helped me in this whole process is basically be patient on my text messages and be warm and professional and strategic when to send text and what to send. Because at this point, I got to know the client. So eventually it worked out. So I'm grateful. And I didn't know it was going to happen. Like, I was stressing out, obviously. And I told Dan I apologize because my stats were low because I'm focusing on these guys solely because I want to get him in contract.
Yeah, for sure. And, man, we know when we don't see your face, it's because you're in them streets. We know that. And it's for no other reason. Brother, I first want to congratulate you, but then I also want to reemphasize some of the highlights in what he just shared. He got the lead in May, ladies and gentlemen, of last year. Working that lead to December, 7 months. Okay. Learning the client so that did you hear what he said? He figured out what to send, when to send it, and what to say based upon the relationship that he developed with the client. $9.7 million. Would you follow up for 7 months and leverage it and lead with emotional intelligence for a $2 million payout? Because that's what it is, through a Zillow preferred lead. Ronnie, thank you for sharing that, bro. Super inspiring. I do want some type of lunch or, you know what I mean? A thank you card. Shit, I don't know. Just to rub elbows with you. How about that? I'll see you at the year in review. We can rub some elbows.
I wish I don't have to give Zillow a lot.
I know. Tell me about it. Hey, I'll take 40% of 60% of 9.7 any damn day. And if it don't feel good hitting your bank account, brother, you can, think about your family members. Jessica, you got your hand raised up. What's your contribution?
Well, first of all, I just want to say congratulations, Ronnie. That is amazing and that's so inspiring. And he said something that really caught my attention. So when he said that his buyer was a CEO and he was a little nervous, like it didn't really know like how to work with a CEO. Like that's so real because for me, I get nervous as well. But what Ronnie did, it's like he did it nervous. Like it didn't matter how he was feeling. Like he continued, and no matter his nervousness, I don't know if he was afraid, like it's a high net worth client, but he still did it. He continued, and now they're in contract. So I just think that's really inspiring. So if you guys ever feel nervous because you're working with someone who's like purchasing in the high millions, just keep going and believe in yourself. So that was really inspiring.
Hey, that's what this space is all about. This is the power of the collective wisdom. Ronnie sharing his win encourages all of us. And I don't know if you heard, I heard one operative word. It's really stood out to me that Ronnie spoke to. Manifest it. Did you guys hear him say? He said, I manifested a $10 million client. What that means is he saw himself serving a $10 million client before he got the $10 million client. And then when he got the $10 million client and nerves started to kick in, he regrounded himself to that which he manifested and moved organically. And he closed a $10 million. Did y'all hear that? Or did that just go over your head? Nevertheless, the call is recorded. So if you missed it, go back to it. But Ronnie, congratulations. Sierra, I don't think she's on the call, but congratulations to you, sis, for a productive January. Let's get right back to it. Ladies and gentlemen, in order for us to our next move is our best move. We got to get back to the basics. In order for us to accomplish what's ahead of us, we got to slow down, recalibrate, and get back to the basics. That starts today. But I want to be clear when I say back to the basics, exactly what we mean. We crushed last year. That's behind us. 150 million is what's ahead of us. Discipline, deciding to actually implement the basics with intentionality and obedience today is what's going to get us to that number. When we say back to the basics, here's exactly what we're focusing on moving forward. What is the quality of the call? We're going back to, are we booking the appointment, understanding the location, and learning of their motivation? Does it result in the setting an appointment? Do we update the lead status when we set the appointment? Go from set to met. And then our ZHL transfer. Those are the basics that we're going back to master. It's going to, that discipline, that decision to master the basics is how we get to our $150 million. Dan, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. This is Dan, I'm going to give the microphone to Dan. We're really going to get into the first pillar or metric component of those basics. And that's the call and booking the ALM. Now, I understand that there are some seasoned agents on the call, and you may say, okay, here's that ALM role play, script role play. We don't have time for that. Actually, that's all we have time for. And so if you're a seasoned agent, once we get deeper into the exercise, this is perfect timing. If you're a seasoned agent, I'm going to ask you to be the lead. I'm going to put you in breakout rooms with the newer agents, because we've got a bunch of newer agents on the team. If your ALM is below the 80% threshold, I'm going to ask that you actually be the agent, so that you can get some practice as well. But before we go any further, I'm going to pass the microphone over to my compadre. Dan, take us to it, bro.
All right. And I'm really excited to be getting back to this. For those of you who've been on the team for a long time, we circle back to the basics, go to ALM, go to the appointment booking about once a year or so that we can reground ourselves. And I think this is a perfect time to do it. We've been talking a lot about ZHL for the last several months because it's important to our business partner, Zillow, that we hit that metric. But we're here to sell houses, not home loans. So getting back to these basics of how do we book an appointment, how do we get in front of clients, how do we close more deals is fundamental and critical. So we're going to hit on the ALM script. And then like Vernon said, we're going to go into breakout rooms. We're going to practice this. And I think we'll probably practice this over the next couple sessions as well as we get really dialed in on this. So let me actually, before I share the stats, or before I share the script with everyone, I want to share our stats of where we were at last year in terms of appointment set, appointment met, because this will help you see where the opportunity is in terms of working on this and getting better. We actually had a pretty good year in terms of our overall numbers across the entire team. We're at about 50% appointments set. Not where we should be, but also not bad across more than 5,000 leads for that whole year. And we were at about 30% met with, right? So we met face to face with about 30% of the customers that came through. But Vernon, I'm sure you'll have lots to say on this and lots of thoughts about this, that we've got room for improvement, huge room for improvement, right? We're not a 30% under standard team. We should be at 45. That's the goal, getting in front of 45% of the customers that we come through. And what that means is 750 new face-to-face appointments over the next year. If we move that from 30% to 45%, that's 750 new face-to-face clients, relationships, interactions, potential $10 million deals that you all could have. When Vernon threw that number up, 150 million in sales volume and close volume, we don't got to get a single additional lead than we did last year. All we got to do is move the needle from getting face-to-face with 30% of our customers to getting face-to-face with 45%. We don't need more, we just need more quality, right? And so that is the point of getting back to basics. You don't got to be stressing picking up more of these calls. You just got to get face-to-face with them. So that all starts with a good quality ALM. Getting face-to-face starts with booking the appointment. So I'm going to post in the chat here our conversion playbook. And the first thing on the conversion playbook, if you haven't seen this before, this has got scripts, frameworks, all sorts of stuff on here. But the first thing on there is the ALM script here. Vernon, I saw you take yourself off mute. You got something you want to throw in?
Just want them to download it. Everyone should have access to the conversion playbook. So click that link, open it up in the window, take a look through it, browse through it. We put that together with intentionality because it's actual playbook. And so just wanted to encourage you to click that link, make sure that you have access to it. It shouldn't just be on our Google Drive or Dan, myself, and Elias have access.
Yeah, good point, Vernon. And bookmark it because this is a live document. So I update it as we get new things. We just added the ZHL 4-step best practice transfer process. So if you want to know what are the steps that you should go through that we're looking in follow-up boss for to see like, okay, is this a quality ZHL transfer? And then the things that are going to make it more likely that you're going to get them connected, that's in there. All this stuff is in there. So keep this bookmarked, refresh, go back to this scripting. So why don't we go through this? We'll try and do this quick and just hit on these, and then we can hit the breakout room so y'all got an idea of what this script is. Again, it shouldn't be anything new. It should be basics, but always helps to circle back to it. So I'm going to call on someone if you get this Google Doc up in front of you and to walk through the first step on this script here. Where do we start? Oliver, you got the Google Doc in front of you. You're in a space where you can take yourself off mute.
Yeah, I just opened it. I have it here.
Okay, awesome. Why don't you start us off in the ALM framework with that first one, if you see it, A for appointment. So you'll all see there's green text. That's the script. It's not a hard script. You don't kind of see the exact words, but that's an idea of what you generally should be saying. But why don't you start us off, read that green part for the A. Start before that. There's a little bit of green that says, hello, this is. Start us there, and then also on the green part for appointment, if that makes sense.
Sure. Okay. Hi, this is Oliver Davis with eXp Realty. I see you requested a tour for 123 Main Street at 3 p.m. today. Does that time still work best for you?
Perfect. Nailed it, right? You all have probably heard me say this a whole bunch of times, but with the ALM framework, say hello, be friendly, be professional, and get straight into booking the appointment, right? First and foremost, book that appointment. They came through with a requested time. Almost every single one of these is a live connection, so just get straight to it on booking that appointment. And then Oliver, if you would, at the bottom, there's another bit of green text. Would you read that for us next?
Sure. Oh, great. So we'll plan to meet on Tuesday at 123 Main Street. And, if for some reason the sellers can accommodate that, I'll give you a call and let you know.
Perfect. Right. So the important thing with the ALM call, and I hear this on a lot of the calls that we're missing the opportunity here, is to leave the call with the client feeling like they have a confirmed appointment, right? We're booked for Tuesday at 2:00. I'll see you out there. If that changes, I'll call you back and let you know, even if you're not 100% sure, so that they don't go off clicking somewhere else to try and book another appointment. And then you confirm it, then you call it, and then you got a reason to call them back, talk about the buyer broker agreement, but confirm it, right? End the call with a confirmed appointment so that they feel confident that you are going to go out and meet them. That is the best way to make sure that you have someone actually show up at that confirmed time. Thank you, Oliver. I'm going to call on someone else for the next section of location. And if we could, how about Josh? Josh, would you take us on the next section of this Google Doc? Are you in a spot where you can see your screen and take yourself off mute?
Yeah, just got it up here. Okay.
Perfect. All right. So then under location, short little text here, but would you read us that green section of location?
Yep. While I'm getting that set up, what other homes are you interested in?
Perfect. Perfect. And Josh, question to you. Why are we asking that question? What is the purpose of asking about that?
We're, trying to see if maybe we can set up a couple more showings, seeing, what type of home they're interested in, just getting a little bit more information about them, building some rapport.
Yes. How many of you have had the experience where you get a Zillow inquiry and they inquire on one property, and then that same day there's another inquiry and another inquiry and another inquiry, and you see them come through with 2, 3, 4 different houses? Right? We see that happen all the time. Most people, if they're looking at one home, they're probably interested in 2 or 3 or 4. And again, this is playing defense. You don't want them going on Redfin or Realtor or the Coldwell Banker website or some other random spot on the internet clicking toward this other home. They might come back to Zillow, but they also might not. So asking them proactively, what other homes are you interested in? Because while we're out, we can make the best use of your time. We can tour 2, 3, 4, 5 homes, however many you want to see. A lot of people will have properties that they want to pull up with. Perfect. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate you. All right. And then next up, we're going to do motivation. Brandy, are you in a spot where you can take yourself off mute and pull up the Google Doc to read us this very short motivation piece?
Yeah.
Okay.
What interests you most about this property?
Perfect. Right. So this is a short, easy one. But if they say the price, what do you say after that? How do you dig deeper on this conversation? Because it's not just about asking that one line, right?
Yeah, typically I just ask them to tell me how they got to that property enough to click the button to request a tour.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. So you're kind of trying to find some ways to get them to give up a little bit more detail.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I frame it. I just say, what's your motivation behind this property that had you click? What prompted you to click that button for a tour that interests you most about the property? And usually they'll say oh, well, I just have to see the kitchen, or something, and then that's where I lead in to ask more questions. Oh, is it the open space about the kitchen, or whatever?
Tell us more about that. What are some of those additional questions? Because this is something I want everyone to take away from this. The motivation piece, it's not just asking them, checking the box. Oh, what did you like about this property? The kitchen. Cool. Next, right? It's about those follow-up questions. So tell us a little bit more about what sort of follow-up questions you ask to learn more about their motivation.
I don't like to be skipped over when I'm answering a question, and knowing that it has more things about it. So I kind of sit there with them and say, tell me more about that. I let them talk, and then I shut up. They like the kitchen? Okay, tell me more about that. Shut up. Let them talk.
All right, everyone write that on your whiteboard. Tell me more about that, and then under it, and then shut up and let them talk, right? That is such a powerful line. Tell me more about that, and then just let it sit. You don't need any other magic one-liners or anything. Recycle that for a bunch. Brandy, that is a powerful phrase. Tell me more about that. And just dig in with the motivation. This shouldn't be a 45-second conversation, although it can get done in 45 seconds. If you make it 3, 4, 5 minutes or so, build some relationship and rapport, they'll feel better about meeting a stranger from the internet out at a vacant property, right? That's what you're trying to build some relationship and rapport with them. Brandy, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay. And then to close on this, some follow-up recommendations that you'll see in here as well. End the call, wrap it up. You end it with a finalized appointment. All right, great. We're going to see you tomorrow at 2:30 out at 123 Main Street. And then as follow-up steps, make sure you're sending them a text message. Send them a text message with your business card if you want that next level. Send them a video confirmation as well of saying, hey, I'm looking forward to meeting you. This is what I look like, so you recognize me when we get out there. I've been serving, the Stockton area for 10 years, blah, 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 whatever you want to do. Use the Follow-Up Boss appointment setting feature so that you add the calendar appointment in Follow-Up Boss. It shows up on their calendar and it sends them a text reminder same day. so that they show up to the appointment. And then also call and confirm if the timing works out so that you can talk about the buyer broker agreement or the single property touring agreement to just tee that up, let them know, hey, there's a little bit of paperwork we got to fill out before we go into the property. It's just a one pager. We can go through that when we get out there in person. So that is it. That's the ALM framework. Anyone have any additional thoughts or contributions on that? Otherwise, we're going to pop into breakout rooms real quick and practice that.
I just had a quick, so we no longer have to say the Zillow Premier agent brokerage, I'm local to the city. It's okay to just say, hey, Jeff with eXp Realty, Team Fast.
I'm going to say I missed that on the script, and we probably should.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a good idea to just give them context. I mean, a lot of these calls are direct connections. So like the person from Zillow is getting them and connecting the call together. But it's always good to give them context. Like, hey, this is Dan. I'm your Zillow preferred agent with eXp Realty. Just throw it in there just so they know. And now we can say Zillow preferred partner agent. It's 3 words that you can add in there. Jeff, good call out. I think that is a good idea to keep that in there. Cool. And it's also not a bad idea to say like, I'm a local agent. I live here in Sacramento, so that they don't think you're just, another person in a call center or whatever.
So Dan, we should add that into the conversion playbook language. Jeff, good call on that one, bro. Thanks for that, bringing that to our attention.
Typing it up now.
As you guys can see, Jeff is seasoned. He probably could take the microphone now and then facilitate the rest of the conversion clinic. So thank you, Mr. Phillips, for that, brother. And we'll be calling on you and a few others because we're going to be passing the mic to some agents in the space to have you guys rock some of our conversion clinics. But more to come around that. You got everybody comfortable because now we're going into breakout rooms. Please take this practice time serious. This is an opportunity to get fluid and master booking the ALM in a short period of time where it doesn't cost you any money, meaning you can fumble, trip over yourself, and it's okay, right? So let's use this opportunity to get better. I'm going to put you guys in the breakout rooms. If you're a newer agent, I want you to be the caller. If you're a seasoned agent, go ahead and be the buyer, the lead on the other line. And if the calls flow super fluently, seasoned agents or buyer, go ahead and drop an objection. Drop an objection in there as a part of the conversation to see give them some more exercise on handling an objection once they've gone through fluidly locking in ALM. Here we go. Put you guys in the breakouts. I'll let them assign what we have. 37 people. So
I think maybe 4 breakout rooms.
4? You think that's
5?
enough?
Maybe more. Make them smaller.
Yeah, I was thinking make them smaller groups, like groups of 4.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's good. Everyone gets some practice.
Yeah, that's good. Those great. Here we go.
Brent, I'll just bounce around to the rooms, make sure everyone's
cool.
Got what they're doing.
I got to put Brett in a room somewhere. Where am I going to put him? How can I assign him somewhere?
Probably room 9, I think. It looks like they're down 1.
9 is down 1? Okay.
Although that's all experienced people. Could also do 6.
Oh, shit. Too late. I already put him in 9. You want to move him? You got co-hosts.
Nah,
right?
I think it's fine.
Okay. So you're just going to pop in?
Yeah, I'm just going to bounce around the rooms, make sure everyone's moving.
Okay, cool.
Vernon, somebody? Uh-oh. I'm gonna stop. Hey, Jordan, what the heck is going on?
What happened?
I got, but my team froze. Let me try to go jump back in this room. Interesting. Oh, Raymond's here. Okay.
I know the other two in our group fucking just disappeared, so I thought we were supposed to come back.
I have no idea. Yeah,
Mine
what
froze.
happened? Yeah, I think that's what happened to me too. Mine like froze, and then I saw, and then it was just like I saw
Oh, good.
Brett and Ronnie left. So
Okay, cool. Well,
He's like, where the fuck did everybody go?
yeah,
they're just probably still doing their thing. I mean, we could practice here if you guys want.
yeah, for sure.
I don't even really like practicing these.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, let's just hang out because I could finish one of those.
I'm like, because not the people teaching us that don't do it.
Yeah, I need to Black, Vernon, and Dan, so I could turn my Zillow back on.
And yeah, this whole DHL shit is so. And that we have to get our, people.
I know.
Pretty quick. Yeah,
I know that's kind of annoying. It's kind of like against like a RESPA violation.
It definitely is. I mean, there's lawsuits I've heard about that, but it's like, and then we get punished for that shit. This is fine.
Yeah, I know.
But whatever.
Whatever. Yeah. You get some leads. Get something going here.
I know. I feel like I haven't been doing shit this whole last month.
I know. I feel like I've just been
chilling,
working with like my one hot client and trying to close this stupid ass escrow that's supposed to close like at the beginning of the month that has not closed yet. That's about it, but I definitely need to get going on some new marketing techniques. Doing my first open house on Sunday, so that should be good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, finally getting back to work here, it seems like.
Is it super cold out there?
Yeah, just like it's bad.
I wasn't sure about taking a coat.
My bad, Jeff. I think I clicked out. I was trying to exit that screen. All good. I think we're coming back here anyways.
What time do you think we'll be back?
1:45. Probably try to leave by 1:30. Like that. 1:30, 35. So, yeah.
Powerful. Okay, folks should be coming back into the space. We're going to open up the floor for a little bit of feedback. I heard some great mock calls, even some dope objections. And we want to just hear some contributions. But once we get everybody back into the space, Blessing, you crushed that call. Is that how you sound on every one of your calls, Blessing?
Oh,
Pretty much right after you left, I let them know like ALM is one thing from my previous brokerage that I just know it's ingrained. So it's the way that I start every conversation, regardless of source. So
can totally hear it in your fluidity. Like it comes out like it just flows. It's engaging, it's welcoming, it's warm, it's articulate, it's clear. That was good job, Blessing. Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, is everybody back in the space? Yeah, looks like we got a few more folks chiming in. Sam, if you're on the call, we started with 39. Okay, we'll wait to see what we come back with. Going to give you a little work to see who dipped out a little too early. We've got 6 minutes, and in true Team Fast Conversion Clinic fashion, we're going to end on time. Feedback. Oliver, how was that experience for you, brother? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, well, so I didn't have time to practice myself, but I heard the conversation, and then we chatted a bit about strategy. So since I'm beginning, anything is good input for me. Yeah. So yeah, it was great.
So tell us something that you learned. What one takeaway did you have from that breakout session?
So apparently, what I learned is we really need to follow exactly that script. So that's one thing. Keeping it on point and casual. I understand a lot of callers are rambling a lot sometimes, so we have to find a way to be courteous, but also keep it on point. I think below 5 minutes, if I understood correctly.
Yeah, you want to stay within 3 to 5 minutes. You don't
5 minutes.
Yeah.
And a great tip I was given was also the most important is to actually book the appointment. And if you cannot make it, you can either ask for some help in the team Slack for someone else to cover for you, or maybe reschedule. But booking the appointment is the most important thing.
The most important thing. Dan, what's your contribution, brother? Matter of fact,
actually love to call on
mute. I'm putting myself on mute, and you're taking us home.
All right. I would actually love to call on Heather, because Heather, you said you had a great line for how you pitch people touring multiple properties out when you're on this initial call. It started with, in a perfect world. In a perfect world. Would you share that? Because that was so good. That was golden.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know you were listening. But yeah, I always tell them that, this is a lovely home. And in a perfect world, we go out and see, you love it. We make an offer. I said, but it's always good to be prepared. So, what is it about this home that you like? Just to get more criteria, to tell them to be prepared. So while we're out there, maybe we could go see a few more. And I'll always throw that out there, and then that kind of breaks the ice a little bit too. I go, listing agents and their photos, you know what I mean? And then you go see it and it's a totally different story. Then I never want to put that into the universe, but I also want to put it out there that let's prepare. Let's go see a few, let's explore.
And that's so good, because sometimes it can feel a little bit choppy or disjointed if they're calling and inquiring in about one specific home, and then all of a sudden you're changing the topic about touring other properties or other homes or whatever. Sometimes some clients are like, well, wait a second, but I'm interested in this home. It's a great way to introduce that. I totally understand that. In perfect world, this is the one. We go out, we tour it. It's beautiful and amazing. Looks just like the photos. We make an offer. It gets accepted.
Yeah.
There's no red flags in the inspections, and we're good to go. But that's not always the case. So we can check others too, just in case.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it. I love it. Thank you, Heather. Thank you. That's such a good one. Anyone have any other contributions, any other takeaways that they had? Anyone who is relatively new to this space have any lines or thoughts that they want to make sure and pull forward into their future calls?
Dan,
Jeff, I see. Yeah, Glenn, actually, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you when I've been doing Zillow Flex for almost 3 years now, and when I first started with Zillow Flex, I was so afraid of the script. I was like, this doesn't feel authentic. But I can tell you, after resisting it, once I gave in and bought into it, do the script. It will save your life. It will save your voice. It will create confidence, and people love that you take charge. So do the script.
That's so good. And I think one of the important things of having a script and just having the same thing that you say every time and rehearsing it and just having it be your natural order of operations is that time when you get the call and you're in the car and the kids are in the back and they're yelling and screaming and you're trying to take the Zillow call and you just get totally flustered and forget what you say. If you've practiced that one script 1,000 times, that's just what's going to come out of your mouth. And that's just going to be your natural default go-to. So, Glenn, thank you. Jeff, I see we got 3 hands. Why don't we go Jeff, KD, and then Otis? We got 2 more minutes. So, Jeff, let's do rapid fire here.
Yeah, mine's quick. I was going to say, get on Microsoft Word, put the script in there, screenshot it, save it, add it to your favorites, just in case, right? Just in case you're in a place, you can't do it, everything's everywhere, right? Same thing of learning it. You still want to practice it to know it, right? But just to have it. And then also, once you answer the call, that's locked into you and you have it, take 2 breaths, take 3 breaths. And then accept. Hey, hello, my name is Jeff. How you doing? Now you sound natural. Now you're flowing. Now you're not rushed. Now you're not right off the bat because you gave yourself 2 to 3 seconds just to breathe. Breathing is the beauty. Breathing dictates cadence, and that's the main thing. And for me, is have that script on hand just in case you need it, and breathe before you connect the call.
Love it. Thank you, Jeff. All right, Katie, rapid fire. What do you got for us?
I just wanted to see if somebody has any script for BRBCs, what's their magic script they use for getting the BRBCs signed. So recently I've been seeing a lot of people have been stepping away from me personally for signing it. So anyone who has any script or anything that they use over the call, I would love to connect and have that.
And since we're right at time here, actually, what I would love to do is have everyone think about that question because that's a good one. It's a challenge we all face. How do we get them to sign the BRBC or the single property touring agreement? And Vernon, maybe next time we all come together, that's a part of our cadence and our practice there is how do we get them to sign that single property touring agreement and or the BRBC? Katie, thank you for that one. Otis, why don't you close us out rapid fire because we're right at time here. What do you got? Quick contribution.
I would just say practice under duress, like Jeff was saying, because you're always, and you were saying too, because at the end of the day, you're going to get these calls when you're on the phone with somebody. You're going to be getting the calls when kids is acting up. You're going to be getting the calls while you're showing clients. I've seen agents, not take it, put the phone back in their pocket. Remember, you got to answer. You got to see this metric through because if it's going to hurt you, it's going to hurt the team. So just practice under duress because we're always going to get these calls 99% of the time when we're not ready for them.
Right when you're not ready. Perfect. Really, really good suggestion. Thank you, Otis. I knew a professional speaker who would practice his talk at like a 4 mile an hour walking pace on a treadmill. So his heart rate was elevated and he was stressed out. And that was a good way to do it. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for participating. Vern, unless you got any other thoughts here, I think we can close it out. We will see you all next time and we will get back to the basics. Practice, practice, practice. Thanks, everyone.
Crush your week. Let's go.